Hi, this is Kishore and welcome back to Kishorelytics. In this video, we are diving into something exciting in the world of data. I just planned about launching the new crash course called SQL, and it's been available in the Kishorelytics channel. Please make sure to subscribe to the Kishorelytics channel. And in this video, we are going to talk about the select query, how to use the select query and how to select a query executes in the beginning the scheme, and how to talk to the database and how to retrieve some results. That has been explained in this video. So now let's sit back and relax. Let's get into the video, and it's a story time. Let's get into it. Yes guys, in this video we are going to dive something exciting in the world of data. So in the world everything is about the data, right? So we want to talk to the data. So how we can talk to the data? It's about the SQL. So I planned about the SQL Crash Course. It's completely for free. It's only available in the Kishorelytics channel. I think many of the persons are covered the SQL in previous in YouTube, but my style of teaching is connecting with the real world examples. So let's get into it. So imagine let's go into the letter, like previous stories, like connecting the SQL. We want to connect how the SQL was made, right? First of all, we want to create the how SQL was made, and after let's get into the story of the SQL. After we are covering the coding section. Here also there is a practical part and theoretical part. Don't worry about that. And interview questions also available here. So let's get into it. Imagine the late 1960s. Imagine guys that we are going to the previous. We are traveling from the time machine. We are getting into the 1960s. Big corporations like IBM are storing more and more data. Like because IBM was a very big company, right? In the 1960s, first company was IBM. Was storing more and more data like sales customers and customers inventory. But the problem only was thing. How do you find what you need quickly? For example, if we want to find which customer is buying more products, which customers are ordering more products, which customers are buying low products, we want to give them the advertisement to him. So we want to find the answers, right? So we want to find the answers. How will we find the answers? Back then, the data was stored completely in the file systems. What means the file systems? File system is nothing but about the papers, documents. We want to store a lot of, it's like a entire room where there are only the books and papers and documents. Everything is about. And back then, if you want to find a simple answer, like we want to search, we want to be like a manpower. If we want the manpower, right? We want to search about the man about the getting into the file systems, and search and one by one paper. We want to find which customers has bought the X month, which customers has previously brought the products. Like we want to find. So if we want to find that much of the product, we want to programmers have to write a lot of lines of the code. So already we have the Java like Java like language. We want to find a lot of query language. So in previous 1960s itself, there is a programming language called the Gobal. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see the language called Gobal, but it's a story, right? Then imagine guys, it is a story. If you want a simple answer, which customer bought the products X last month? The programmers has to write complex programs in language like Gobal or assembly language. Assembly language is nothing but the microprocessor, microcontroller language. Yes, I am a core EC student, so don't worry about that. So I can teach the SQL also. So it was when we write the long of code, it was slow and rigid, not something business people could do on their own. So business people also want to do their own, because if we don't want to do the code, give the flexibility to the programmers, not right. So we want to find the business people also. So and the entering of the hero was entered, and he find the Dr. Edgar F. Code, the English computer scientist. Is nothing but the English computer scientist, and he also working at the IBM. And in 1970s, he published a groundbreaking paper introducing the idea of relational model of data. Don't worry about the relational model of the data. I will explain all of the things in the later. For now, just hear the story. In 1970, he published a groundbreaking paper. He published a research paper because he has a PhD student, right? We want to find the answer, so only he got the PhD, right? In 1970s, he published a groundbreaking paper introducing the idea of relational model of data. Relational model of data is nothing but the table column, like rows and columns, right? That's like I explain all of the things in the later. For now, he published 1970s. The hero name was Dr. Edgar F. Code, an English computer scientist. So his vision was simple but revolutionary, because instead of thinking of the data as diagonal files, imagine them as tables like spreadsheets. Have you ever seen that the Excel sheets? Like I already put the video about the pandas. in the pandas itself, I guess explain about the Excel sheets. Pandas is equal to Excel sheets, right? That's like in its vision was simple but revolutionary. Instead of thinking of a data as a tangled files like files and systems, but in 1960 they were sure about the file systems only. Later, instead of thinking as data as tangled files, imagine them as a tables, and you could like a math aggregation. I can also teach the math also, and it's a very don't worry about guys. It's a very pure max. And later we get into the SQL, and this was like a turning chairs into the order. So, but there was still a challenge. How could humans actually talk to the relational database? I'm asked from beginning itself. I have told them from how could humans actually talk to the database, right? So that's where the another hero find the second hero called Donald Chamberlain and Raymond Boynes, also at IBM. The same IBM company find the Donald Chamberlain and Raymond Boyce also at the IBM came in. In the middle of 1970s, they created a new language called SQL, Structured English Query Language. Now only it was turned in SQL into SQL, right? So in mid 1970s, they created a new language called the SQL, Structured English Query Language. Like the idea was led to people ask questions in something close to plain English. The people want to speak to the database in a plain English, but the business people, but the non-technical people doesn't know how the technical words are like. So only the middle right, Donald Chamberlain and Raymond Boyce also at IBM. So he found the plain English as a query language. Structure, the name itself suggests that structured English query language. That's turned into the SQL, structured query language. So his vision was simple and but revolutionary. Like this is a code of simple example, but don't worry about that, guys. I will explain all of the things, and I have sketched it beautifully in the SQL tutorial. So his vision was very simple and revolutionary. First, we want to like it's like we are selecting some name, and I want to complete a lower of functions, lower of country. Lower means functions. Later, don't worry about this code. I will be explain all of these codes in the later. But for now, I'm showing this is an example of structured query language. I want to retrieve the customer's data. How we can explain that retrieve the customer's data within the plain English? So the English itself still we want to select the data. First of all, we want to select the data. Select means select name. I want the name, and I want the lower of country. Lower of country means I want the country name as a lower. So from which database I will be showing? From customer database. So it's like a where country is equal to Italy. So we want to talk to the database in a plain English. That's the best, very vision and was simple and but revolutionary, right? So his vision was very simple and but revolutionary. This is much easier to learn. So because non-technical people are like business administrators, business support engineers, and business leads cannot able to have and remember about the technical word because they are already in the industry. So why you want to learn they think why you want to learn about these things? They have already the programmers. So we don't want to build the programmers. So only the SQL structured English query language was made. So this was much very easier to learn than the traditional programming. Later the name was shortened like SQL. Now also it's only the SQL, but it was owned by Oracle. I think it's also owned by there are a lot of SQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL, and MySQL, Workbench. Like many of the things are available in the SQL. But in the 1980s, companies like IBM, the main introduction of SQL is IBM only. So many of the heroes are available in the IBM, I think so. Like Dr. H.F. Code, the main hero, he published a paper. And the second hero, Donald Chamberlain and Raymond Boyce, he founded the structured query, English query language. Later, in the 1980s, like IBM and Oracle, Microsoft adopted the SQL. Like I think so. I didn't right. Oracle and like IBM and Oracle adapted the SQL because it becomes a universal language. So universal language of the database. Today, whether you are booking a flight, scrolling down the Instagram, all are the data. All of something in data. We want to talk to the data. When we ask something to the YouTube, when we set something to the YouTube, there is available in the server that writes a query language to the server, and the result will be in the form of your output. I don't worry about guys. I also explain all of the things in the later. For now, imagine these are the stories are available about behind the SQL. So I don't want to take much time because if I put the long videos, must be very useful, right? So in short, I want to show, don't give the brief introduction. In short, SQL was born out of real world. To the main motive of the SQL is to talk to the database in very plain English. That's a doctor's code theory into the practical language. I think so. So how we can talk to the database. So first of all, let me connect to my, this has been available in the next session. Please subscribe to the Kishorelytics channel. Yes guys, now it's a story time. We are getting into the story. Now imagine this has been my, wait a minute, I have to connect my notepad. Okay, fine. Imagine guys, this is me. I am a programmer, I am a software developer. So I want to create my database to the users. So if the user logins into my data that wants to store it in my database, that's I want to create it. That's called the data definition language. I want to create, alter and drop. Like if I am the user, I want to create the data, create the login, right? That's called the create. Alter. If I'm in the program, I can alter the database, and if I don't want the database, I can simply drop the database. So that's the basic intuition. If I am a database, I am the software developer, I can create the data. So like I'm creating like a schema. It's like a, what are the rows are to be getting into my database, what are the rows insert into the database, what are the data are insert into the database. That's like, so for this I'm a software developer, I can create the database table. For now you can understand it's a table. I can create the table, what are the data to be stored in the database. I am a owner of creating a create, alter and drop. Don't worry about that. These are the components are available in the another sketches. So now it's a story time. So another later the user I publish my app. I publish my app in a Play Store or an App Store. So the user getting into my app store and they are entering into their login. They are inserting the data. That's called the data manipulation language. Data manipulation language consists of three components like insert. Wait a minute. Insert, update, and delete. So what the user can insert means login into the database. What the user can insert into the database. What the user can update the details. The user can update the profile. Either the user can delete the profile. It's like Instagram deleting the Instagram account, like this. So another in my company there is another employee called data scientist, data analyst, data engineer. They want to answer to the business people how many peoples are getting into the app in one day. So that's the basic intuition. They write the code. They write the query language to the database. That's called the data query language. That's called the data query language. It consists of only one component. That's called the select. So there are three types of components. I think there are four types of components in the SQL. So the first component is data definition language. It's used for the I'm a software developer. Like imagine I'm a software developer. I can create the table. I can alter the table. I can, if I don't want this table, I can just delete the table. I can drop the table. So I'm a software developer. Likewise. So I publish my app to the Play Store and the user can insert the data. Like inserting means login into the data. The user log in the data and we can update the profile, and either I don't like the app, the user can delete the profile. So in my company there is another employee called the say data scientist and data analyst. He has to query query to the database. That's called a data query language. In SQL there are three type of languages. For now don't worry about the fourth language. It's called a transaction. It's like finance. I just also covered this also in my later tutorials. For now we are covering the data query language. Okay, so now why we want the SQL? Why? There are many languages called Python. It's very simple. I also said Python is also very beautiful and very simple language. Why SQL? So why we want to use the SQL? So we can talk to the data. The first motive of the data SQL is we want to talk to the data, and it is a very high demand skill. It's when we want to get into the top MNC company, there are three important skills to get into it. One, the basic programming language. I covered this tutorial in my Kishorelytics channel. Please make sure to watch this tutorial. So the second language is Linux. I also covered this Linux tutorial. In my channel. Please make sure to watch the tutorial. And the third, the database. Talking about the database, I am just completing my tutorial. I just introduced my tutorial. So please don't worry about that, guys. The main motive of the Kishorelytics channel is to getting into the top MNC company. The three skills to get into the top MNC companies is programming language. Any one programming language. Now, I choose the Python. I can tell because Python is the most demanding skill. In top MNC companies. Many of the MNC companies use the Python, right? Like ChatGPT, Meta, likewise they are using the Python. So I just complete the Python crash course. Later, the second skill is Linux. everything is about the black screen. We want to write the command. We want to they give the laptop, they give a simple like back screen. We want to connect through the, they bought some cloud storage. We want to connect through the black screen. Likewise, I can create the Linux tutorial, and it consists of 50 commands, and these are the very important commands in top MNC commands. The third thing is database. I covered database also in this tutorial. So why we want to learn SQL? But the first, you want to talk to the data, and it's a very essential language. You want to talk to the data, and the second thing, it's very high demand skill. I just want to now I want to tell that very my personal story, because when I'm getting into the third year, I don't know what to learn, when to learn, and how to learn. I don't know. So I learned first SQL only. I previously in the first year itself I learned about the Python and HTML, CSS, like those things, DSA, like all those things I learned. But when I getting into third year, there is a subject called FDMS. In many of the EC students are able to know about the FDMS. It's like a fundamentals of database management system. There is a ma'am called Renuka Devi. I don't want to reveal the name, but I just told, right. He is my teacher. They only guided me to learn the SQL. She taught very superly in SQL. In case of me also, he taught very easy and very simple manner. He just taught about the Oracle. I just think I am using the Microsoft SQL server. He just taught the Oracle server. So later, few days went. I just learned about the I getting into the interest into the SQL. Later, I learned completely SQL in the whole semester. And the whole semester, I completely learned only the SQL, because I love the SQL like language. Like in the previous itself, I told why I am telling about the main motive of the Kishorelytics is to enter into the IT company. The main motive of the entering into the top MNC company. So only I creating this tutorials of I learn from many places. I just learn a lot of research. I just learn many of times in ChatGPT. Like I don't want to give my subscribers. Everything is available in my place. So please subscribe to my Kishorelytics channel. The third, why we want to use the SQL means it's a standard industry standard. So in 1960 itself, the SQL was a hero. Now it's a 2025, and again the SQL was a hero. The main motive is that three things. Why we want to SQL means it's like we want to talk to the database. The main thing, we want to talk to the database, because the database doesn't understand the human language, right? So only get the structure English query language. Later it tends to start like SQL. So it's in the high demand skill. The very high demand skill is SQL. Like software developers, data analysts, data scientists, and data engineer. Everything, everywhere. If you want to get into them, if you know the SQL, okay, you can able to survive in the industry. The third, it's a very industry standard, because in 1960 itself is a hero. SQL was a hero in 1960, and now it's 2025, I think so, right? In 2025, you are watching in the 2025. It's 2025. Now also it's a very high demand skill. Okay, so please learn to don't talk about the long video. I think don't see how long is this video. Don't worry about it. It's worth for watching. So now we are getting into the SQL components. So type in this tutorial, I'm just covering about the select query. So in the later tutorial, I can just cover everything from scratch, how to install to how to build, store and database. And later, as usual, we complete the project, and it's open source and it's completely for free. The main motive of this tutorial is to learn SQL. So today's agenda is to learn SQL. To learn SQL, already we learned about story of SQL. Don't worry about my handwriting. We don't know able to change the handwriting, but it looks good. So the main agenda of this tutorial is to learn the select query, how to use the select query, there are many type of the components. I just plan everything, and I just sketched in my hands using my pen. I just sketched everything. So already we learned the story of the SQL, how the SQL was made, how the flashback of SQL. Let's say the flashback of SQL. Okay. Okay, now let's get into the types of SQL. So basically, the types of SQL components is called I just already tell it with the story, with my story. Yeah, this is me, and I created database. Likewise, I just told there are in types of SQL. There are three types. Where is my pointer? Okay, the types of SQL is called there are three types: DQL and DDL and DML, I think so. And there are also available TCL, transactional control language. Later we can able to see transactional control language. Later we will discuss, because the main today's agenda is about select. Today's agenda is about select. So we discuss later, but the main in components is three commands. The main three commands is data query language, data definition language, data manipulation language. So in the data query language, there is only one component commands called select. In the data definition language, as the name itself, select definition, we want to give the definitions like create, drop, alter. In the data manipulation language, there is three commands: insert, update, delete. So now it's everything okay. Now let's get into the today's tutorial is about data query language. The data query language is nothing but the select. We want to select the database. How we can query the database. That's the main motive of this tutorial. Okay, fine. Now we want to first of all let's get into the another story time. It's about the I want to ask the question to the database. I want to ask your data. For that database doesn't understand the human language, right? Database doesn't understand the human language what we are speaking. It doesn't understand the English, it doesn't understand the Tamil, it doesn't understand the Telugu, it doesn't understand the Hindi. So the database understands only the query language. What means the query language? Query language is nothing but data. I already said data query language. I read it here, right? Data query language. Data query language consists of only one command. Don't know about checking. It's already data query language consists of only one command, that's select. So we want to select the database. How we want to talk to the database? Using the query language. So database results get the answer result as a table column. That's a basic motive. I just explained this to. Now the SQL query consists of following three components. So in this tutorial, I just cover all of the components in simple way. The first thing is select. I just told, right? The select. And the distinct means it's called the unique. This also again ma'am story. As I say, I told this story in the later. So top, we want to pick the top three members. There is a command called top, and which table, which from where you are from. I'm from Salem. Likewise, where are you from? Likewise, they asked me which from the which table. Right? Likewise from, and later we have covered this. This is a very super important topic called joins. Later we want to cover, and we want to filter the data so we can use the where, and we want to categorize the data. We want to summarize the data means you can use the group by, and we can having the again we want to filter the data after the where means we can use the having, and again we want to order it by basing on the ascending order or basing on the descending order. Later we can able to sort the order by. Now in this tutorial the main motive is showing the visual concepts, and later I explain this concept in my Microsoft SQL Server. I don't want to waste time in downloading the SQL Server. Already there are much videos are available, but I can show how to download. Okay, I can refer some videos also. Okay, so now let's get into the first command, first command of SQL. Yeah, I can write here. First SQL query. Very important, guys. This only were available in all those apps. Okay, fine. Imagine there is a tabular column. This is a relational tabular model. I just told, right. And the doctor Gajar Eder. I don't think so. I just forgot about the name. But introduced the paper called the table relational model, right. These are my relational model. All are called rows and columns. Like in this rows there is a rows columns called ID, name, country, score. So there are called 5 rows in the table. And the first row is called Mary, is from the Germany, and his score is 350. Likewise, there are some data in the tabular column in the database. We want to retrieve all the columns. First of all, the first command is select star from the table. I can either write by here. Select star from table. Select star from table. We want to write that we want to select star from table. What does it star means? Star means retrieve all the commands. Wait a minute. I can remove this. I can able to. I think so. Where is my eraser? Okay, I think so. This. Yeah. I can remove this. So you can see the visually my eraser. Okay, fine. Yeah, I can remove this also. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Imagine there is a table database, and don't worry about the relational model. Later we will talk about the relational model in detail. Now in the database there is a 5 rows, and there contain the 4 columns called ID, name, country, score. There are 5 rows in the database. Wait a minute, sorry guys. So the first command we want to learn about the SQL is select star. Select star. Star. The main important motive in this visual is select star. The select star, what is the star? Retrieve all the columns from the everything. It like retrieves everything from the table. From means tells SQL where to find the data. It's we want to tell where to find the data from, which place you are from, like which country you are from. It Marias belongs to Germany country. From which database? There in database there are many tables like customer database, sales database. We want to tell the query language. We want to tell the in the plain English, like we want to select star from table. How we can select star from customer table. Likewise we can say we want to retrieve. If you want to retrieve now, if you want to retrieve all the columns, you can simply use the star command. Star is very important operator in SQL, because many of the times we will use the star command only. So select star from all commands. It retrieves all the columns. That's the basic intuition. So second, how we can be executed. I just want to begin the stories. How it can be executed in the behind the database. So first of all, there is a database called ID, name, country, score. There are 5 columns. So keep all the columns. First of all, from query, how the query execution order. First the from which table. Yeah, from means which table means the table name. Table. Okay, wait a minute. What it belongs to? A new tablet, right? That only. Table name. Okay, from which table means it's from the customer table. It goes to the customer table, and star means it retrieves all the columns. That's the basic intuition. So now if you want to pick the few columns, so I don't want all the columns, but I just need the select ID, name. So that's also possible. Select column 1, column 2 from the table name. Picks only the column you need to survey. You need instead of all. That's also available. Again, the same thing, how it work behind the schemes. Keep only the select column 1. I just need the ID column. I just need the name column. I don't need the Germany. I know. Wait a minute. I don't need the Germany column. I don't need the scores column. I just need only the column 1. I just need a column 2. These are my name and country. I just need the column 1 and I just need the column 2. So where how the execution executes means, from which place you are from. I just want the table, customers table. So it belongs to the customers table. So it's getting into the customers table. Again, it's select command works. Select which command, column 1 and column 2. Later it will retrieve some results. That's the basic intuition. Later we are slowly getting into advanced sessions. Slowly. First of all, you will learn player soli. Like in Tamil, it's called the player soli. We put player soli in SQL. Now we are slowly getting into the conditions, like how we can write the conditions. Here also there is a if else condition. Here also there is an loop. Here also there is some store procedures. Here also here contains the CTE and partition tables and triggers. There are a lot of things, and all those things are covered in this tutorial. Please make sure to subscribe to the Kishorelytics channel. If you do not subscribe, I will give sabam. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's get into. I don't leave the sabam. Just kidding. Imagine there is a database called ID, name, country, scores. In this database there are 5 rows. I just want to filter the data. So I just need the filters whose score is greater than 500. I don't want all the columns. I just need from all the columns whose score is greater than 500. I just need only these columns. I don't need everything from. There also a person called Peter. He scores only 0. I don't need them. If you are getting into the, imagine it's like a story. Imagine these are my interview scores. I just need the persons. I need only the persons who are. If I'm talking to the database, it's like imagine the story. I'm talking to the students database, and in this database, whose score is greater than 500. I just need only those person. I just want to filter out the data. So how we can filter out? So imagine guys, how we can filter out about using the plain English. The main motive of the SQL is the plain English. We want to give the influence to the non-technical person, like business persons. We want to give them influence, right? How we can do? Like we are introducing the where command called where filter out the data based on the condition. in the condition it looks like filters the data score higher than 500. We want to select star from table where condition here the condition looks like where I am writing a query, right, and just now I am writing a query. Select, I just need all the persons, so I am putting the retrieves. Star means retrieves the data. Later we can see the analysis also. From which database I just want to, from which table I just need the students table. I need the students table where the condition here the condition looks like. So the score we want to give the, it's a case sensitive, we want to give the score greater than 500. This is how the looks like the query. Are you guys aware of it? Slowly we are getting into the top advanced questions. Now we are in the intermediate sessions. We are giving the previously, after we are getting into the some intermediate sessions. Now this is this is very important, super important topic. Please note down. Select star from, we want to filter out the data based on some conditions. Later we can see having also. No, the main difference, I just from my 6th semester I just worry about the where to use the where to use the having. And no, don't worry about the case. I'm expert in SQL. I just proudly say I'm expert in the SQL. I just covered daily. I just solved some 170 problems and daily, and I just post in my GitHub. So these are the notes and these are the sketches are available in my GitHub repository, and the link to the GitHub repository are available in my description box. Please make sure to check. And I just draw everything in my hand, so you make sure use of it. And the codes and scripts and documents and datasets, everything is available in my GitHub repository. And the link to the GitHub repository is available in my description box. That's all. I don't want to promote my channel now. So now let's get into it. So this is my ID. We want to filter out. So let the query language getting into the database and it checks whether the Maria scores is greater than Maria is scores it. Wait a minute. I just want to Maria scores greater than 500. No, I don't want this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Maria scores is greater than 500. No, I don't want this. So the omits the Maria. Again, the query language gets into the second row and it checks John is scores is greater than 900. No, yes, the John scores is greater than 900. I just need the John. So the John stored in the result form. So again, the third query doesn't stop. It gets again third row and checks George gets his scores is 500. Yes, the George scores is 500. So the output results contains George. So don't worry about my. I try to improve my handwriting. Okay, in letter. So again the query language doesn't stop. It get again the fourth star Martin. It checks in the Martin and it checks Germany whether the scores is greater than 500. No, we are given the conditions whose score is greater than 500. I just need greater than 500. I just don't mention greater than equal to. I just mention about greater than 500. So I don't need this column. So I just omit this column. I just omit this column. So later the query language doesn't stop. It gets again into another database and it's tell Peter score is greater than 500. No, his score is very less, right? So I don't want this better. So the database sends the result as a tabular form, and in the database, the output of this database called John and George. That's the basic intuition of this where condition. Are you guys aware about this? Please make sure to comment in the comment box. Okay. If you guys have any comment and doubt, please make sure to note in the comment. I am happy to share everything, right? Okay, fine. Now let's get into the another conditions. Like we want to give the another condition. I just told about the new condition. In this condition itself, I just mentioned, right, goose score is 75, my goose score is 500. Later we can see the comments. I just explain these comments in visually and with my handwriting. Okay, you guys have beware of these bad conditions. Now I don't want to give them from descending order, like chronological order, like John comes first, George comes first. I don't want to like them. We want to control the ascending and descending order also. That's also having the command for order by. We are getting into slowly getting in the first command. Later I can write there. The first command we see about the star. How we want to pick some data. Later we are discuss about we want to select the selectively ID name means we can see the command. Likewise we can send the name ID. The second we are discuss about the where. We want to filter out the data. How we can filter out the data using the where command. Slowly we are getting into the intermediate session called the order by. Order by we want to control the order. which order wants the we want the output, like we want either we want the ascending order or either we want to add the descending order. So but here the main motive is we don't want to mention fully like ascending. We don't want to mention the fully like ascending and descending. There is a short word called ASE and DESE. Yeah, ASE means ascending, ASE means ascending, DESE means descending. Okay, that's the basic condition. We want to control the order of the output also, so we can get into it. So how the order by works, later we will discuss. We are going to discuss how the order by works. First of all, the first commands, the first motive is how from which table belongs to. The table is belongs to the students table. Okay, thus I am going into the students table. Okay, I am getting into it. I want to select all the columns. Okay, I just want to select. Later the query is my command is select star. Okay, I am getting into it and just select star. And third, we want to order by. The second command is order by. Sorry, I don't remember about that. Yeah, the second command is the second query is order by. Order by getting into is I just mention order by John. The score is 900. So you want to descending. Descending means from biggest to smallest. So John first comes first, and George comes second, and Martin comes third, and Maria comes fourth, and Peter comes last. So I don't worry about the Peter. Score was less. So don't worry about that. I made my Peter. I am the Peter. Just think of me. I am the Peter. I don't want to get offended of other people's. So I'm the Peter. Okay, likewise you can think. Okay, now the order has been arranged. So later we get into the third command called select. Select will select which column I want. I want all the columns. So I retrieve all the columns from the table database. I retrieve as the output. That's the basic intuition. Have you guys remember? Have you guys beware of the order by? If you do not, if you have some doubts and queries, please let me know in the comment below. If you do not ask amount queries, I can able to understand the user subscribers as everything understood. I think so. So these are the we are discuss about order by. Like we have covered star, we have covered where, and we have covered order by. Okay, now let's get into the fourth command called we can able to add a few comments, like we want to. I don't want to mention country. I don't want to mention the score only. I just need the country scores also. So that I just come into the select star from. I just select star from order by. I just need to mention two columns like country and score. From a country, I just need in the ascending order, and the scores is in the descending order. How it works? Let's we discuss. So later we are getting into the database. From which table? I just need in the students table. Let's consider this table as a students table. Let's consider this as a students table, and later it's getting into the student table, and the second execution order is order by. Later we want to order by. And the first command is country. We want to G has been in the alphabetical order. G has been arise first. So Martin and Maria. Martin and Maria belongs to Germany. So it comes first. And later the scores. The scores also comes in the year. Later we mentioned about the scores. In the Germany and the scores has been 500. Here we want to see about the 500, and here we want to see the 350. Later we have to discuss highest to lowest. The scores are discuss about the command to the score is descending order. We want to give 500 and 350. Later it gets into the another database, another column called George. George in the after G it comes an alphabetical order called UK. U, my favorite country. George. My favorite country is UK. I just want to go to UK. Please make sure to pray to the God right now. Okay, George. Later there is only column called 750 UK. Later it will be print. So again it will be getting again the query language doesn't ends. It gets into the another row in my database and checks where after G there is a column alphabetical order called John. There is an alphabetical order called John. Later it gets into John and it checks. We want to mention used by the USA. It checks the USA, and USA there has been two columns, and two columns we can, and the scores. The second condition is scores. You want to check whether the John has highest mark, whether the Peter has highest mark. I'm sorry about the Peter. I just put about 0 to you. I just rechange in the later tutorial. Okay, John and Peter. Okay, these are the things I just covered. Now we are covered about how to retrieve the columns and how to selectively adding the columns, and later we have to discuss about the where, and fourth we have to discuss about the order, and fifth we have to discuss about the how from two columns how we order by works. Okay, later we have to discuss about these are the agenda in my tutorial. Okay, These are the things. Again, if the country has been ascending and scores has been descending, these are the columns. Okay, fine. Now let's give slowly getting into the group by. Group by is very important and super important topic and very interesting topic also. I can put my very important topic like this in my notebook in my school days. I just able to remember like those things in my teaching of this tutorial. Okay, in the later session we will discuss about the group by, and in the next session we will discuss. Subscribe to the Kishorelytics channel, stay hydrated, have some water, take some notes. Hi guys, now let's get into the another story time, and it's a very important story time. Now let's get into it. So the very important in everything, like when you are creating a table is not necessary for a group by, but when you want to retrieve something, when you want to retrieve some databases in your data when you want to retrieve some data in your databases, you just need a group by. And very important topic and very confusing topic also. Don't worry about that. I just made very amazing sketches in during from 10 p.m. to during 3 a.m. I just will build during these sketches. So now let's get into it. So don't worry about the group by. I will take care of it. Don't worry about it, guys. Okay, fine. Now let's get into it. Imagine again I am having a student database. Imagine I am having a student database. Now I want to retrieve some columns, but I don't want to retrieve all the columns. I just need, if I have the UK, so if I have the USA 2 times, I just don't need the 2 USA, but I just don't need the 2 USA. I just need 1 USA, but the sum of the 2 USA into 1. How we can able to do that? Imagine there is a 2 USA, 900 and 0. I just need the output as 900 plus 0. How we can able to do? After we have to do some aggregations like sum of scores, but we want to group by the country. I don't want to I just picking up some countries, but I don't want to retrieve again and again one country in second times. There comes the group by. It combines all the rows. With the same value, aggregates a column by another column. It's a little bit confusing, but able to understand, right? It combines rows. It combines UK, 2 UK. I am writing here USA. It combines to one row USA, but it aggregates a column by another column. Aggregates means it aggregates another column by another column. But you're having a 900. Aggregation happens here 900 0, but the aggregation happens here means 900 plus 0, it's 900. That's the basic intuition. I will guess able to remember. It's a very important topic, right? So it combines rows with the same value. It combines USA into one USA and aggregates column, but different column, another column, right? Total scores and the main dimension we can able to. This is my second video, and I'm proud of my second video. I'm explaining this dimension, how to secret of the dimension, or explain in my second video. Please make sure to subscribe to the Kishorelytics. Total scores by country. These are the things. Are you guys able to remember? Are you guys able to understand? Slowly we are getting into it. No, don't worry about that. Later we have. So now let's get into the sketching part. So how the execution order works. The first execution is from table. From which table? I just need the student table. I just from the student name table. And the second execution order is group by. You want to group by the country. I just need the Germany. Germany comes here. First of all, Germany. And it looks like it checks. First of all, it checks all the Germany. Is there any Germany available here? No. The USA, UK, Germany. Again, the Germany comes here. So the scores 350. The Germany 350 plus 500. 500. Its answer is 850. I think so. It's correct. So again, the query language doesn't ends, and again it gets into the another column called USA, and again it prints the output USA, and again it checks whether it checks any other USAs are available in database. Yes, 900, because I just only need the group by in the country. We want to group by. I don't want another Germany. I just need the one country, but sum of the skills. The main execution is sum of the skills, sum of the scores. Right, 900 plus 0, 900. I just need the output as 900. Okay, I guess beware of that. Slowly we are getting into right now, right? So again, the query language doesn't ends. Again, it's getting into the UK. Whether it's a UK, you can able to mention here. I can mention here UK, my favorite country, but it comes at last. Okay, okay, fine. I can go into my Germany. Okay, fine. And again, it will check whether it's available in any other UK. No, there is no UK. So sum 50. the output goes like this only. Okay guys, before how it's working behind the screens. So first the execution order is from the table, from which table we want to retrieve some data. From student table we want to group by in the country, we have Germany, UK. The third execution is still select country and sum of score. We want to sum of the scores, we are summing the scores, so only the aggregation happens here. So how the group by works here, here the most interesting part, the most interesting comes here. Germany, that there is a Germany, I want to aggregate the sum here. The main motive is the sum of the scores, the sum of the scores. Okay, so there are two Germanys, Germany, there is a scales called 10 and 30. The Germany mentioned into this and it's called Germany and the total sales is 40. Again there is a two country called one country available two times, USA, and the sales in the first USA is 15, the second day is 45, and later we will merge it and the output is 60. Later we have the France. So okay, wait a minute, yeah, we have the France. Later in the first day the sales is 10 and the second day the very improvement, that sales is 15. Later we will merge it and we will get into the France 25. And that's the basic intuition, right? So how it works I just told. Have you guys beware of the group by, and it's a very important command. If you have any doubts, please note me sure in my comment box, or you can personally DM to my Instagram channel using Instagram. Though my Instagram, where I can write, I can either, okay, later, okay, I can write here my Instagram channel, Instagram community, like this. You can message me like in this Instagram account also, I will message. Okay, fine. Guys, beware of this group by, very I am explaining in very quickly and simply in simple words. Group by is nothing but the combine all the rows with the same values, combine all the rows with the same values and aggregates a column by one another column, but it aggregates with another column also. Okay, that's the basic intuition. Yeah, I'm explaining it visually. Okay, now slowly we are getting in, slowly we are discuss about first of all how to retrieve the columns. Later we are discuss about the how to individually we have to retrieve the columns, and third we have to use based on the condition, and fourth we are using the order by, and fifth command we are discussing about the group by, and sixth command we are discussing about the having. So before aggregation is one condition and after aggregation is one condition. So the main difference between the very important and very important interview questions also, I am writing here. Okay, so the main confusing part happens here. So the main difference between the where and having, where to use where and where to use having, that's the basic intuition. That's a basic introduction and very important introduction. I'll explain these things in the later. So first of all, you want to know having, right? So if you want to filter data, but where also using the filter condition, and where is used before aggregation, and where having filters data after aggregation. If the interviewer asks the questions in the interview, you can able to see that time my in your mind I want to stand. So where able to filter data before aggregation, and having filter data after the aggregation, filter data after aggregation, that can be used only within the group by. Yeah, that's a basic intuition, that can be used only within the use by. Having can be used only within the use by, very important. Having that can be used only within the group by. It filters data after the aggregation, that can be used only after the using the group by. If you use the group by, you can use the having. If you do not use the group by, you do not use the having, right? That's the basic intuition. How it can be works in the begin the scheme. So later first of all the execution arm works from here. We want to select the database from which place we want to select. I just want to select from the student database from, and the second execution is group by the country. I just group by in the country. There are two countries called Germany, UK, USA. Okay, and later we will there are countries called Germany. There are country called Germany, USA. We are after group buying it. There are country called Germany and UK. And later after group buying it, the third condition having the work comes here, and the sum of the scores greater than 800. Whether the Germany has the sum of the scores, if they count the sum of the scores 80, yes, it will come. And the sum of the scores is greater than 800, yes, the USA comes. The sum of the scores is greater than 800, no, the UK doesn't comes. Oh, my favorite countries doesn't available. Okay, fine. Germany and UK has been available in the output. But the fourth command is which column I just need. I just need the country and the sum of the scores. how the execution order works. I just explained all of the things in very simple manner, right? Are you guys able to understand? Whether me know in the comment box also. So the execution from which table, and the second execution is from the group by, and third execution having the comment after aggregation, where to use the aggregation, where to use the having, and where to use the where condition. Where can be used before the aggregation. Later you can able to note that can be used before aggregation. I can write AGG, and having can be used after aggregation. After aggregation. Okay, fine. This is my very important interview question that can be, and I can also able to, if I am an interviewer, I can also ask this question in the SQL interview. Okay guys, I explained this concept very easily. Okay, this is my interview questions comes here. So let's discuss about that. We first, the main motive, we want to filter the data. So how we can filter the data? We can able to filter the data using the before aggregation, and we can able to filter the data after the aggregation. How we can able to filter the data? Before aggregation comes my where condition, after aggregation comes into the having condition. Why I'm able to before itself I'm able to show visually means you can able to understand easily without my explanation itself. If you see the screen, you can able to understand. That's the basic intuition of Kishorelytics, and I am the owner of creating these visuals. Okay, fine. Now let's get to slowly getting into advanced session and intermediate session, right? So before aggregation we can use the where condition, and after aggregation we can use the having conditions. So how it works? We are selecting first of all the work from student execution. We want from the student execution table, and it comes from the second condition where, and where the score is greater than 400. Where the score is greater than 400 means, first of all we want to before aggregation. Before aggregation comes here, the score whose score is greater than 400, Maria Dasin comes, and John comes. John, and the scores greater than 400, yeah, George is also comes, and group by George comes, and Martin also comes. I can write here, Martin comes, and Peter comes. No, the Peter doesn't comes. Okay, that the three numbers, John, I can write it by here, John, George, I think so, Martin. Okay, these are the persons comes before aggregation, and we are group bying the country. The John's country is UK, the USA, and George country is UK, my favorite country, and the Germany, Maria comes, right. Maria doesn't comes. Martin company is Germany. We are group bying it. After having this condition, we are having the condition. We have to sum of the scores greater than 800. After the conditions works. The main interview question is how we can able to filter data before aggregation and after the aggregation. Before aggregation we can use the where condition, and after aggregation we can use the having conditions. Like these are the simple commands. Now let's get into the another command called distinct. So the main today's agenda is select. How we can different kinds of commands used in the select query data query language. And today's topic I am able to recollecting all those things. I can write here. Today's I can like this. Today's topic is data query language, DQL. Here we are discussing about the select. So how we can able to use efficiently the select command, right? The first of all we are discussing about how to retrieve all the columns and individual columns, and later we are discussing about the where by, I think so. Third we are discussing about the order by, and fourth we are discussing about the group by, and fifth we are discussing about the having, and sixth now we are discussing about the distinct. So what is distinct? As the name misses our place, it removes the duplicates. So we want the distinct columns, no repeated values, no repeated. If there are users can be logins again and again in the same day. I just need the individual users. I don't want the repeated users. The users is also available in the list. Why do I don't do repeat again? That means that comes the distinct. Again, my ma'am told this story. Distinct means, if you want able to in the interview, this are the question asked to my senior. Distinct means unique value. Unique, you can, if you want to able to mean unique value. At the time of teaching, my ma'am only able to comment to mind. Distinct is equal to unique value. You can able to remember. You can also able to remember. Okay, removes duplicate. It removes duplicate and repeated values. Each value appears only once. Each value appears only once, guys. ID, name, and country, score. In my student database, there are 5 rows: Maria, John, George, and Martin, Peter. Now here I don't have any repeated values. Later we can able to have the repeated values, right? So we can use the select distinct. These are my keywords. Select distinct column from table. This is the syntax. This is the syntax. So select distinct. If you use the distinct, it removes the duplicate. That's the basic intuition. And later So if you have the distinct values like Germany, USA, USA, France. If you use the distinct keyword, if you use the distinct keyword in select distinct from student table, I just need this in the student table, students country table. Okay, if you have use means if you use a distinct table, it can be distinct into Germany, USA, unique list. It use the unique list called Germany, USA, France. Likewise, it can be used. Okay, now let's get into the another command. I'm introducing another command called top. If you want the this is my scores of the database. If let us think as a scores table. These are the marks. Okay, scores as the marks given to the students after the test. I just need that. I just want to give to the top three scores students. I just give the price. Like later, I want to talk to the database. How we can able to talk? So we can able to talk using the where command also. For now, we want to know, right? These are the commands are available in the SQL, right? So top means it restricts the number of rows written. It exists. I just need the top three. That means it restricts the top three rows only are available in my command. Available as the output. So if you put the top five, if the top five rows, that means the top five based on the ascending order, it will be command. Okay, that's the basic condition. Top. And now, okay, top. Okay, fine. Top. How it works means I just it goes to the top three means the top three 900, the top three 900, 750, and 500. The top three John, the best scorer, and George. I think so. George, yeah, George only. And Martin. This comes as the output. Okay, top three means it's restrict the number of the rows to be returned. Okay, that's the basic condition. So now at last we have finished the select data query language. How to you efficiently use the select query language? Data query language is using a select command. I just want to don't leave this command. I just want to select give the execution order to the commands. As we discussed, we are discussing about the from. From is the first command. Make sure the execution order. The second is where, and third is group by, and fourth is having, and fourth is this selected and distinct. It may, if you put the distinct, it may happen and order by and the top. This has been execution order. Okay, I will guys be aware of that. This imagine this has been database. Okay, from which table? I just need in the first table in that students database. If you see the visual itself, as you know, from second execution is about the where. Okay, sorry. Second execution is about the where. From where column is equal to 10. It goes into the database and it will filter out the database. And the third condition is group by. Group by means you want to group by summing of all the data. Like we discussed about the Germany, USA, France, Germany, USA. Like guys, it can be group by in the data. And after group bying, we want to filter. Before group bying, we can use the after before aggregation we can use. After aggregation, after group by we can use the having only. Having filter out the data. The fourth execution order. And the fifth execution order, what columns I want. From what columns? I just need the country column as sum of the aggregation. That's the basic condition of the fifth column data here. Okay, later and if you want the order, make sure the order like R1 top scorers, you can able to use the order by command. This has been, I just explained all those things in very simple and example and visually. Now the story time ends. Now let's get into the practical session. Okay, subscribe to the Kishorelytics channel. Let's get into it. Yes guys, now let's get into the theoretical part. And if you want to practice some coding and query language, just now you want to download the SQL server. So how to download the SQL server? Just getting into the any browser. I am using a Chrome as a browser. Microsoft SQL Management Studio. You can able to download, install. If you put like this means you can able to install the commands. And there is a user manual. If you read this manual, you can able to see there is also a step by step how to download, initialize, and everything is available. I don't want to waste the time, so I just download these commands and I have already written these commands easily in an efficient manner. Okay, wait a minute, just a minute guys, I don't want to take much time. Okay, as of now we have completed select all the columns, select specific columns, where, order by, group by, having, distinct, term, and all those things are combining at one query, and I just no need to give only the theoretical part. I just want to give the additional part also, additional cool stuff to my fellow subscribers. So let's get into it. Today the main agenda is about the SQL select query. How we can able to use the SQL select query. That's the basic condition. So this is a single line command. So in SQL, we want to in the Python we can able to use the as and multi-line command is the triple quotes, right? In SQL, if you want to write a single line command, if you want to write a single line command, you can able to use a double minus symbol. Minus symbol means like a dash. It's been available at the above the P. In my keyboard, it's above the P. If like plus minus, like this, you can able to use. The multi-line command is bar symbol and put the star symbol. That's a multi-line command. Now let's get into it. So as of now, don't able to remember, don't just able to think how to create the table. If you want to create the table, I'm just creating the table. Okay, just now, as of now, don't worry about the guys. This has been the another tutorial. So far, we have completed the only one command only, data query language only we are covering. In the later, we have to cover many more things, right? So don't worry about it. As of now, I'm just writing this command. Drop table. If the customer table is been available, I just want to drop it the table and I'm just getting into it. I'm just creating another table. Create table customers ID. Yeah, I just told right ID, first name, country, scores, and constraint mean it's like a primary key. Later we will discuss all the things in the later. So in the customers table, I just want to again I'm just giving the same for explaining purpose only. I'm just giving the again the same query data. So we are discussing about this. So just getting slowly. So the 5 rows has been affected. Later we will discuss about the customer data. So let's get into this data query language. How we can able to retrieve all the columns. Select star from customers, right? So select star from customers. If you put like this means if you are able to remember, right, ID, first name, are you guys able to remember, see in these columns clearly? ID, first name, country, score, ID 1 2 3 4 5 likewise. And if you want to select few columns only, I just need the first name and country and scores only from the customer's data. If you want like this means also you can able to do that. Select customers. If you like select which command you want to execute, select all those commands and press the execute button. You can able to see the output here. That's the basic condition. Every for now I'm using the Microsoft SQL Server. As of you can able to use the but each SQL some differs. Maybe I can also tell the difference between them also. As of now, I'm using a Microsoft SQL Server as a practicing purpose. You can able to use any other tools like Microsoft SQL Server, say MySQL Workbench, and you can able to use a PostgreSQL also. And there are a lot of cool stuffs are available in the internet. You can able to solve with that. For me, I'm using the for my comfortable purpose. I am using a Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, and this has been used widely in all the industries. I think so, right? So for retrieving each column customers, I can use a select first name, country, scores from each customers. I just retrieve. So let's get in the third command, and where we are based on the condition we want to customers, where customers and select star from the customers. So let me execute this. Select star from the customers. I just don't need the zeroth row. I just impose on who scores 0. I don't want right. So I'm just giving the scores not equal to 0. These are the conditions I'm giving to the database. Select. I just execution address means the first customers table, getting into the customers table, and second condition where the scores it will filter out the data, and later it will be selects all the columns. Like this, the output is Maria, John, as we discussed, Peter omits the data. Peter gets out from this field. So okay, now let's get into the students retrieve customers from Germany. I just don't need to from only single line command. You can definitely be able to know how these commands. I can able to come with another command. Retrieve customers from Germany. I am using the select star from customers where country equal to Germany. Which are the persons country based on the condition country equal to Germany? I just need only those persons. If I am able to execute this, Maria Martin has been available. Okay, fine. Now retrieve the name and country of the customers from the Germany. Retrieve the name and country of the customers from the Germany. I just need the another country selectively. I just need some comments like I like this. I'm execute means Maria and again the same output. Now let's get into slowly getting into the order by command. Now I just need all the scores from descending. So I'm selecting by this. Already I have written this course, and this script also has been available in my GitHub repository. You can able to remember, you can able to download, you can able to practice these sessions, but this is for only the learning purpose. If I run this command, the persons comes with the scores. John comes first, George and Martin, Maria, Peter comes last. Okay, fine. Likewise, you can able to scores ascending also. Likewise, you can able to try. I can also run this code. Select start from the customers, order by scores ascending. For Peter, ascending means Peter comes first, right? Ascending because his score is less than 0. His score is equal to 0, so only come first. Okay. And sort the values, you can able to use the order by command. I just explain all those things in my visual story, right? Visual Studio, you can able to see that. If you have any doubts, please make sure to review the video. Are you able to ping me the comment? I can happy to share all those comments. Select star from customers, order by country, ascending order. And the Maria, Martin, George, and Peter comes first. That's the basic condition. I just want to retrieve all the columns. So I just want to sort the result by the country and then by the highest score. Okay. This also has been available. I just explained in my visual story. Later we will discuss. Martin, Maria, George, John, and Peter. These are the things are available in my. I just need the order by country and score by descending order. These are the things. And again, retrieve the names and country. I just again another problem statement is retrieve the name and country and the scores of the customers whose score is not equal to 0. I just not need the person's whose score is equal to 0. I just need the persons with only not equal to 0 and sort the results by the ascending order. So how we can able to do? So first of all, I want to hide the answer. My fellow subscribers key is the answer itself. How we can able to sort the result? Sort the result is based on the order by command. And how we can able to select retrieve some columns means you can able to select using the command. Okay, that's one. And we can able to use the where commands also. I just told right. Select first name, country, and scores. From which table it's coming from? It's coming from the customers table. And where in the where commands is used for the based on the conditions. Where score not equal to 0 and the order by scores is descending. So let me run this code. Run this code. This course Peter again. The Peter doesn't don't get offended, guys. I am the Peter. Think of me as a Peter. I am the best and lowest score student right in my college. Okay. Slowly we are getting into the group by command. Later we want to group by sum of the scores. So sum of the scores we have how we can able to do that. I'm able to copy fully, guys. This has been the many mistake every guys you do. Germany, I'm just grouping the country. Germany, UK, USA. See, you guys be able to remember. In the editing, I am able to show the Zoom video. Okay, so don't worry about that. It's a very raw video and it's worth for watching. So this will not work because the first name is neither part of the group by, not wrapped in an aggregated functions. SQL doesn't know how to handle these columns, right? So I'm introducing another command called as. As is nothing but the analysis. In pandas tutorial, I just importing giving the nickname to the pandas, right? Import pandas SPD. Likewise, in the sum of scores, I just giving the sum of the scores sum of the scores nickname as mean root scores. As giving the as. That's all. There is no more further explanations. Okay, what happened? The customer's first name. Okay, that's the first name is nothing available in my data. That's only it's available. So we want to find the total customers and count of the ID. So again, don't worry about the aggregation function. Aggregation function has been available in the. I just planned everything hierarchy. If I count the aggregation total customers, and the Germany has been available at 2 times, UK has been available as 1 time, USA has been available at 2 times. That's the basic intuition. Again, having after group by we want to getting into the having commands. Having sum of the scores greater than average of the scores greater than 430. If you do that means you can able to see the UK and USA has been the best scorer. So again we are using the same average of the scores as average of scores. After group by we are using the having command. Yes, same answer has been. Distinct command means if you want a distinct country, you can able to use that. Distinct equal to unique values. I just explain all those commands in my visual story commands. I just need the top 3 customers later. So I'm using this top 3. So top 3 and star. I just need all the columns. Top 3 star means you can able to see the all the columns like ID, first name, country, and scores. Like this, you can able to do that, right? And here I'm just using the top 2 customers and based on the ascending order, based on the scores. Ascending order, like Peter comes first, right? I think I just told right. Peter, USA 0. Then if you do the top 2 star means star means it can retrieve all the columns, right? Likewise, select tops 2 from the customers order by scores. Likewise, you can able to do get that 2 most recent orders. 2 most recent order mean based on the recent order means descending order. Let me use the descending order and you can use what happened. Oh, okay, fine. I'm just not importing the scores orders table, right? I just want to enter the yeah. Okay, later we will discuss about the orders table. For now, we are discussing about the select star commands, where commands, and group by, order by, having, top, distinct. Okay, I'll just cover how to use the where, how to use the select commands. Likewise, all those comments are available in my select country. I just need the average of the scores. From which table is coming from? Customers table. The scores is nothing. It's like a plain English. If you read this English itself, you can able to do. No. The main technical word is group by. Group by means we want to summarize the data. We want to group by based on the country and having the average score of 430. Average scores. After group by, we want to use the having, and after having, we have the use the order by. That's the basic condition. So select ID, new name as the customer style. Let me run this code for my fellow subscribers. New customer. If you want to give the static message, means you can able to use it. Yeah, you can definitely use this also. Allow. If you want to print something in the output screen, you can able to select allow as a static string. If you want to print something as 1, 2, 3, you can able to use this. The basic use of this select command is printing something. In Python, you can able to use the print command, and again, you in the SQL, you can able to use the select command. That's up for this video, and I hope everything has been covered about select command, how to use the select command, from execution order, how to work behind the screens, and I explain from my handwriting notes. All those notes are available in my GitHub repository, and the link to the GitHub repository is available in the description box. Please make sure to subscribe to the Kishorelytics channel. If you like this video, please make sure to share it with your friends, because you can friends also can able to gain this knowledge also about the SQL. And Kishorelytics has started the you can able to share this course also. And Kishorelytics has started the new initiative and landed the new courses called SQL. And now this is Kishore and signing off from the Kishorelytics channel. Thank you. Bye bye.